right, set up a chest tube.
I'm on it.
Lucy, is there a fetal heart?
Lucy!
Give me a minute.
You two should
Give me some gauze to put. I want an answer.
Against the wall and silent. You hear me? Cardio infusion.
Grey's Anatomy Season 22. Release schedule, shocking death, and what's next in Episode 2. Grey's Anatomy Season 22 is back, and it's already delivering heartbreak, heroics, and high-stakes drama. The new season premiered on October 9th, 2025, picking up right after the devastating hospital explosion that rocked Grey Sloan Memorial. Episode 2, titled We Built This City, airs October 16th on ABC at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, streaming the next day on Hulu. The season premiere, Only the Strong Survive, threw fans into chaos as the doctors scrambled to save their own. Dr. Atticus Lincoln suffered life-threatening injuries, but ultimately survived thanks to a tense, makeshift surgery led by Owen, Teddy, and Bailey. His emotional phone call to Joe Wilson left fans in tears, but tragedy struck elsewhere. Dr. Monica Beltran, Natalie Morales, died heroically while guiding resident Jules Millen through a life-saving surgery on a young patient. As Grey Sloan recovers from the blast, Meredith Grey returns to Seattle to help rebuild the hospital. Meanwhile, tensions rise among the interns and between couples like Lucas and Simone, whose rocky relationship faces new complications. Episode 2 will mark a major milestone, the 450th episode of Grey's Anatomy, promising emotional fallout, rebuilding efforts, and more signature Shonda Rhimes drama. Creator Shonda Rhimes recently admitted she no longer knows how the show will end, saying, "At this point, that decision belongs to the fans." After nearly 2 decades, Grey's Anatomy remains television's longest-running medical drama, tackling everything from ethical dilemmas to healthcare inequality, and Season 22 proves it's not slowing down anytime soon. Hey lovely viewers, welcome to our channel Grey's Anatomy Official. Grey's Anatomy Season 22 release schedule. From the hospital blast to shocking death, here's everything to know before Episode 2. Grey's Anatomy Season 22 picks up after the devastating hospital explosion, with shocking twists, emotional goodbyes, and new beginnings. Here's the full release schedule, recap of the premiere, and what to expect in Episode 2. Grey's Anatomy is back again, and it's still making history. Season 22 of the medical drama, created by Shonda Rhimes, premiered on October 9th, 2025 on ABC. The show remains television's longest-running medical series, following the lives of doctors at Grey Sloan Memorial Hospital as they juggle personal struggles and medical emergencies. If you're here to check when new episodes of Grey's Anatomy Season 22 will drop, we've got you covered. Here's the full release schedule, so you'll know exactly when to tune in every week. Grey's Anatomy's Season 22 episode release schedule. After the premiere, new episodes of Grey's Anatomy will air every Thursday on ABC at 10 p.m. Eastern Time and stream the next day on Hulu. That means Episode 2 will air on October 16th, 2025, and be available to stream starting October 17th. The season will include 18 episodes in total. Here's how the first part of Season 22 looks. Episode 1. Only the Strong Survive, October 9th, 2025. Episode 2. We Built This City, October 16th, 2025. Episode 3. Between Two Lungs, October 23rd, 2025. Episode 4. Goodbye Horses, October 30th, 2025. Episode 5. Sometimes I Feel Like a Motherless Child, November 6th, 2025. Episodes 6 and 7. Titles TBD, November 13th and 20th, 2025. Remaining episodes and titles will be revealed later as the season unfolds. Season 21 ending and Season 22 Episode 1 recap. Season 21 ended with a major cliffhanger. An explosion tore through Grey Sloan's surgical floor, leaving viewers worried about who made it out alive. Season 22 picks up right after that disaster. The hospital is in ruins, patients are in danger, and the doctors must act fast to save as many lives as possible. Meredith returns to Seattle with Ben Warren, Jason George, to help rebuild the hospital and guide her colleagues through the chaos. Spoiler alert. The following section includes major plot details from the Grey's Anatomy Season 22 premiere. The premiere episode started with an intense drama that picked up right after last season's shocking hospital explosion. The blast, caused by a cauterization tool sparking gas in an operating room, left several doctors injured and the hospital in chaos. Among those hurt was Dr. Atticus Link Lincoln, Chris Carmack, the beloved orthopedic surgeon known for his easygoing nature. The episode showed Link in critical condition, sharing an emotional farewell call with his wife, Dr. Jo Wilson, Camilla Luddington, before his fate was revealed. Thankfully, Dr. Atticus Lincoln survived his near-fatal injuries after being treated by his fellow doctors Owen Hunt, Kevin McKidd, Winston Dugu, Anthony Hill, Teddy Altman, Kim Raver, and Miranda Bailey, Chandra Wilson. Much of the episode kept fans on edge, unsure whether Link would make it, but he ultimately pulled through, a relief to both Joe and his ex-girlfriend, Dr. Amelia Shepard, Katerina Scorsone, with whom he shares a child. Sadly, not everyone made it out alive. Dr. Monica Beltran, played by Natalie Morales, died in the season premiere. What first looked like a manageable pelvic injury turned tragic when complications arose. While guiding resident Dr. Jules Millen Adelaide Kane through a tough surgery on a young patient, Dr. Beltran was pinned under fallen equipment, unable to move or get medical help herself. By the time rescue crews reached her, the child had been saved, but Dr. Beltran had passed away. Natalie Morales first appeared in Season 20 as a guest star before becoming a recurring cast member in Season 21, making her character's sudden death an emotional blow to fans. The explosion left Grace Sloan Memorial severely damaged and several staff members injured. However, the hospital itself survived and is now entering a rebuilding phase. The catastrophe set the tone for the new season, forcing the doctors to navigate both physical and emotional recovery. Episode 2 will be a special milestone. Episode 2, We Built the City, will mark the 450th episode of Grey's Anatomy, a major television milestone. The Grey's Anatomy Season 22 cast. Season 22 brings back a mix of familiar favorites and newer faces. The main cast includes Ellen Pompeo as Dr. Meredith Grey, Chandra Wilson as Dr. Miranda Bailey, James Pickens Jr. as Dr. Richard Weber, Kevin McKidd as Dr. Owen Hunt, Kim Raver as Dr. Teddy Altman, Camilla Luddington as Dr. Jo Wilson, Katerina Scorsone as Dr. Amelia Shepard, Jason George as Ben Warren, Chris Carmack as Dr. Atticus Link Lincoln, Scott Speedman as Dr. Nick Marsh, Anthony Hill as Dr. Winston Dugu, Nico Taro as Dr. Lucas Adams, Alexis Floyd as Dr. Simone Griffith, Harry Shum Jr. as Dr. Benson Kwan, and Adelaide Kane as Dr. Jules Millen. Grey's Anatomy highlights the tough side of healthcare. The American television series Grey's Anatomy has delved into several healthcare issues, giving audiences a glimpse of the medical world. The series has tackled several challenges that plague the healthcare system, from ethical dilemmas to patient care struggles. Through its gripping storytelling, Grey's Anatomy has highlighted these issues, making viewers aware of the complexities of modern medicine. Here are 5 healthcare challenges addressed in the show. Ethical dilemmas in medicine. Grey's Anatomy frequently delves into ethical dilemmas that medical professionals face daily. These dilemmas often involve decisions about life and death, patient autonomy, and the limits of medical intervention. By showcasing these scenarios, the show highlights the moral complexities doctors deal with beyond clinical knowledge. Impact of mental health on healthcare. The series has also focused on mental health issues among both patients and healthcare professionals. It has shown how stress, burnout, and mental illness can affect doctors' performance and patient care. By addressing these themes, Grey's Anatomy emphasizes the importance of mental health awareness in the medical field, balancing personal life with professional demands. One of the recurring themes in Grey's Anatomy is the struggle to balance personal life with professional responsibilities in a demanding healthcare environment. The show portrays how long hours and high-stress situations can take a toll on personal relationships and well-being. This portrayal resonates with many viewers who understand the challenges of maintaining work-life balance in any profession. Access to quality healthcare services. Grey's Anatomy also tackles the issue of access to quality healthcare services for all patients, regardless of their background or financial situation. The series often highlights stories where patients face barriers to receiving necessary treatments or care due to systemic inequalities or a lack of resources. Navigating healthcare bureaucracy. The series also highlights how complicated healthcare bureaucracy can be, with its focus on administrative hurdles, insurance issues, and policy regulations that doctors have to deal with daily. By highlighting these challenges, Grey's Anatomy gives viewers an insight into how non-medical factors affect patient care. How will Grey's Anatomy end? Creator Shonda Rhimes weighs in. Grey's Anatomy just returned for season 22, though creator Shonda Rhimes shared her thoughts about when the medical drama will come to an end. Grey's Anatomy just returned with season 22, and while there appears to be no end in sight, creator Shonda Rhimes admitted she's not exactly sure how the show will end. To be at 450 episodes is amazing, and really all because of the fans and the fact that they've kept watching the show and they've stuck with it and they're excited and invested, Rhimes, 55, said while appearing on the Monday, October 13th episode of The Today Show. Rhimes then noted that people have been asking her how she views the show ending in the future. "I'd say back at around episode 150, I knew how it was going to end," Rhimes admitted. "Now we're at 450, I have no idea. I mean, I wasn't sure we would get past season 4 or 5, so the fact that we're here in season 22 is insane." Rhimes also weighed in on how much longer she sees the show lasting. "I feel like at this point, that decision is not mine as much as it is the fans," she said. "I want everybody to end in a really positive, great way." Grey's Anatomy first premiered in 2005 and followed the personal and professional lives of surgical interns and their supervisors. The original cast starred Ellen Pompeo, Meredith Grey, Sandra Oh, Christina Young, Katherine Heigl, Izzy Stevens, Justin Chambers, Alex Karev, T.R. Knight, George O'Malley, Chandra Wilson, Miranda Bailey, Isaiah Washington, Preston Burke, James Pickens, Richard Webber, and Patrick Dempsey, Derek Shepherd, McDreamy. However, the cast has drastically changed over the years, and the only original actors to still be making frequent appearances are Pompeo, 55, Wilson, 56, and Pickens, 70. One day before the season 22 premiere, Rhimes looked back at the show's earlier seasons during her October 8th appearance on the Call Her Daddy podcast. While talking to host Alex Cooper, Rhimes was asked which character's death was the hardest for her to process. She wasted no time by declaring that Dr. George O'Malley's death was the most difficult. During the end of season 5, the team of doctors worked on a John Doe patient who had been hit by a bus. They eventually learned that the victim was fellow Dr. George. "George was really... that character is so beloved," she said of the character's death. "TR is such a lovely guy. That was such a hard thing to do." Rhimes also praised Knight, 52, for being a team player while filming his final episode as a main character. "TR was so amazing 'cause he didn't need to lay on that table, but he was like, I'm going to do the role even though you're never going to see my face. The whole 9 yards. Cooper, 31, responded, "You really wanted us to actually, have snot coming out of our noses with that death." Rhimes replied, "I mean, it broke me, so I knew that the audience would respond to it, but I really loved it." Your Grey's Anatomy official recap. The season premiere. It's true that we've had to wait all summer long, stressing about the various doctors left in peril after the acetylene explosion on the ER floor that occurred just as the closing credits of Grey's Anatomy season 21 started rolling. And yes, of course, it's also true that season 22 is kicking off with a premiere episode that will put you in some real emotional turmoil as we watch the direct aftermath of that explosion play out. But come on. Isn't it at least a little nice that the Grey's Anatomy writers took some of the agony out of the equation by revealing that a whole bunch of potential victims were okay right at the top of the episode? Learning in the opening minutes of Only the Strong Survive that Miranda Bailey, Lucas Adams, Jules Millen, and Richard Webber, head laceration aside, were physically fine following the blast. That's a silver lining of sorts, right? It means we can focus all that stomach churning. Will they make it out alive? Angst on the doctors who have suffered grave injuries. Newlywed Atticus Lincoln and PED superhero Monica Beltran. Honestly, only on Grey's Anatomy is it considered a win that there are just 2 doctors to worry about possibly dying. But worry no more. Let's find out their fates and what everyone else at Grey Sloan is up to in the season 22 premiere. And you thought you had issues using the stairs. Honestly, nothing gets me more pumped up than watching the Grey Sloan docs band together to save the life of one of their own. It's equal parts terrifying and inspiring. Okay, mostly terrifying. Especially in a situation like Lynx, in which not only is he gravely injured when a giant hunk of metal from the ceiling falls on top of him in or two, but because of the explosion, his friends don't have real access to the facilities or the tools they need to treat him. When Bailey, Owen, Ben, and Winston find Link crushed under that steel beam, it's bad. They learn that a piece of the ceiling is lodged under his clavicle and is most likely tamponating some serious bleeding. They need to remove it and get him to Seattle Presbyterian Hospital, where they can help him, but time is not on their side, and I hate to tell you this, but the elevators are out. The only option is to carry a bleeding, nearly unconscious Link down the stairs. Eventually, they realize that with the amount of blood Link's losing, they'll never have time to get him to the other hospital before he dies. They'll have to take him to a CCU lab and operate there. It's not ideal, but neither is death. Things are looking so bad at the moment that Bailey has Link call Joe, who is stressing out in the ER with Weber and waiting for news about her 36-hour husband and baby daddy. He doesn't want Joe anywhere near him since it could be bad for her and the babies, but when a guy with severe blood loss starts talking to you about where he keeps his password book, you know things are bad. Joe is beside herself as Link goes into cardiac arrest while on the phone and needs to be resuscitated. Joe Wilson has been through enough. I don't think there's one person out there who wants this woman to suffer more than she has. Now she has just married her best friend and is on the verge of being a mother of 4, and she's going to become a widow? I do not think so, Grace. I do not think so at all. The moment when Joe tells Weber that Link is the only family she has is gutting. It's very sweet when Weber responds that she knows that isn't true. But still, do not kill this man. Once the doctors get Link set up in the CCU, things look dicey. Who should walk in at that moment but Teddy and Amelia? Amelia, just the person you always want around in a crisis. She's already spiraling because she blames herself for Jenna Gatlin taking an entire hostage with an extremely flammable gas after Jenna's daughter Dylan ended up with locked-in syndrome following brain surgery. If only she had been a better doctor, Amelia laments. It's in no way accurate. Jenna is the villain here, but it's easy to see why Amelia is drowning in guilt. It's Winston who has to pull a hysterical Amelia out of Link's makeshift operating room and help her calm down. If she's the reason her son doesn't grow up with a father, just like she did, something she says has defined her entire life, she will never forgive herself. Thankfully, the worst does not come to pass. Everyone can breathe a sigh of relief. Except for Link, who has suffered a lung lack, among other things. In fact, it's these few undetectable injuries that add some tension in the CCU room for a little while. Link is clearly bleeding from an injury they are unable to see. Owen wants to do a thoracotomy and look around in his chest, but there's not much blood to give Link, and Teddy thinks it is just too risky. They should take him to Seattle President It's Ben, who, you'll remember, was recently fired from the residency program for not following Teddy's orders.